All right, here we are at lesson number 5 in code.org. And let me get here. Second level. The first level was some review activities for programming, and now we are at the stage of starting building a website. Your job is to take a look at 3 different clients that you could choose from to build a website for, or go on your own. All right, so this is at least to get you started. If you are stuck and you've missed class or something and you're just not sure what exactly you're supposed to do. So, first thing, this project guide will help you out. It's copied and it's a stapled pieces of paper. And here's what you're trying to do. You're going to pick one of these users, Alana, Denzel, Kiri, or do something on your own. When you look at these 3 users, and in Schoology, their profiles and things were loaded in here. It says project, client descriptions, color. So you can see the information about Alana. She's looking for a job. Denzel is a baker, so he is looking to showcase some of his favorite recipes and give tips and some feedback about baking. Kiri has a restaurant, okay, and she wants to highlight some menu items. So decide which one of those you want to go with, or if you're going on your own, you're going to have to come up with a lot of content as far as what you want to do, okay? All right, so if you could then just kind of pick the major parts that are underlined, this is going to be the main topic. So if you picked Alana, you're going to look what is underlined for her. If you picked Denzel, you're going to hop over here and you're going to get to Denzel and you're going to say, ooh, what's underlined? How he started, 3 of his recipes, the story behind the carrot cake, baking tips, quotes from happy customers. Those are kind of the big main items there, okay? Now, when you look at the next page on the layout and what you want your website to look like. So this is where you're going to start to think, all right, what should the website look like for which client you're working with? So I'm just going to use Alana as an example. If you're doing Denzel or Kiri, do something similar. It's just going to look a little different when you get to doing the content part, okay? So here, what you're thinking of, and if I have Alana, then I'm thinking, all right, I want a big title here, and I would probably put her name here, Alana, all right? How do I make that look big? I would use the H1 heading. And you can kind of see an example here of what they're talking about. Okay, when I look at her page, then I'm thinking, okay, next comes, she's got a little blurb about what she's accomplished. She's a recent graduate, blah, blah, blah. We get all this detail. She has some contact information. Sometimes I kind of think putting the contact information right up there under her name might be a good idea so that they don't have to search for it. So I would probably make another heading that says something about contact info and maybe make that a little bit smaller heading, like an H3 or something like that. Then I'd probably have a paragraph listing that info out here. Okay, so like blah, 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 whatever that is, her email and some other stuff on social media. I'd probably make that a little paragraph. Okay, and then keep going. All right, then you have to talk about her education. That was one of the headings. We have to talk about her awards and certificates. That was one of the headings. And then finally, her work experience is in there. So each of these, I would probably make like a smaller heading so that it kind of sections things out a little bit. And we go from there. Once you have this kind of sketched out, now you have an idea what to do once you get into code.org and you're going to start programming. Okay? Cool. So let's go there and see what it looks like. Right here. All right. So you get to lesson 5. You get to level number 2. And it says, all right, add HTML to your page. Remember, you need 3 headings, 3 paragraphs, 3 lists. Okay? Got it. So let's start with your title. Everything goes between this body and this line that is a / body. That's like the start and the end of all of your content. So get here on line 6, and in order to make this a big title, we use a heading 1, and then you can type Alana. I don't think it ever lists her full name, so for our purposes, we just have to say Alana. Okay, there you go. Perfect. Now, I kind of wanted to put her contact information next. You certainly don't have to. All right, you can do whatever you want with the content that's there for you. I'm going to use a heading that's a little smaller, H3. See what it looks like? Cool. All right, now under here, I don't want this to be big and bold, but I want to definitely list her email address, and it says she had a LinkedIn profile. Now, before I even start, I'm going to put my starting and ending paragraph here. Now I'm going to go back and I am going to click that AB button, and I'm going to copy these two things. So that looks like her email. Copy. Paste. Nice. And then this way I don't have to worry about spelling because I'm not going to rekey all of this. All right, this is her LinkedIn information. Okay, awesome. Now, here's one thing I noticed. Do you see how this is all blobbed together in one line? I could separate it into 2 paragraphs, but I'd rather keep this single spaced. So here's a great spot to put in what's called a line break, BR, right here. Once I've done that, notice how it splits these doop doop onto 2 separate lines. Excellent. Okay, now I'm going to get past that paragraph tag. Now let's see. I think I wanted to do her education next. So I'm going to start here. I kind of want this to be a section of the web page. And you'll notice what I'm doing. Before I even copy and paste, I'm putting in the start and end of this heading. So then I can just go here, in between, and I'm going to go back and it says for educational accomplishments. Copy. Paste. Now notice, whoops, I got a little too much there. Got that extra R. I got that comma. And then, ooh, I should probably capitalize this so we can edit a little bit. Okay. Sweet. All right, good. Now, under here, let's see what she has in there for education. Now, this says blue, so I'm going to go down here and kind of look for things that are highlighted in blue, if I can find it. It says, oh, right here, major in marketing from Boston University, class of 2022. Is there anything else? Okay, there isn't really much else, just this major in marketing class of 22. So I don't think I have to put a list here. Okay? I think we can say, let's just put in a paragraph here. So I'm going to do P for paragraph, and then I'm going to look for this content again. Okay? Recent graduate from Boston University. All of that. Okay. Copy, paste. Oops, I got to make sure that I put an ending or a closing paragraph there. Okay? I'm going to give myself some room. Okay. Recent graduate from Boston University with a major in marketing class 2022. Okay, that looks good. All right, now another section. Now, if you want, you can get fancy here and start putting in some horizontal lines. I'm asking you to incorporate at least 2 of them somewhere so you can decide where you want to put those. I kind of like separating out some information. So I think right before educational accomplishments, I'm going to add a line and put HR, and we'll see what that looks like. HR by itself made that line. Cool. All right. Now, what I want you to do is kind of keep going and build from there. All right. When I look back on what I was laying out, next was like awards. Okay. So I look back on her stuff and it says certifications and awards. Okay. So I'm going to copy this. Copy. Oh, let's see here. Now I was using H3. Okay. Which means then I'm going to have a closing H3. And in between, paste. Now, again, I'm probably going to capitalize the C, capitalize the A, and go from there. Now, here, in looking at her certifications and awards, it looks like we've got quite a few things. Employee of the Month, a certification here, Dean's List at Boston. So we got like 3 things. I think we should put those in a bulleted list. Now, how do you make a bulleted list? So, when you can go back and look in your notes, but a bulleted list is the one that we call unordered. And this is the blank structure or skeleton for it. You have one UL command, which stands for unordered list at the top, one at the bottom, and each item on the inside has that. So what I'm going to do is before I even copy and paste stuff, I'm going to program this in here. UL, I'm going to put a couple blanks. I'm going to put a closing UL. All right, so that starts and ends the list. In the middle, this LI and a closing LI have to go on each line, just like this. I'm going to copy, and I'm going to paste, and I'm going to paste. Okay, now, see how it already bulleted that for me? How nice is that? Now all I have to do is go and copy the content. Okay, so employee of the month. Okay, so we're going to add this. Control C. Employee of the month, and where was that? Let's see. She was at Fashion Forward Boutique. So, employee of the month at Fashion. You could copy this too, I'm sure. Boutique. All right, the next accomplishment or certificate or certification was this as a digital marketing professional from this institute. Cool. So we're going to copy that one. And I think I like this being capitalized. All right, and then the last one that we saw that was highlighted in purple was being on the dean's list. So we are going to copy this one and paste that one in there too. Okay? Cool. Look at that. Okay, I'm not sure if I like the quotation marks around that. I might get that out of there. That doesn't really match up. Okay? Good. All right, now keep going. This is the structure you have in mind, and then I like to go along and just keep pasting the content in there. I think once you paste the content in and then try to program around it, it gets a little more cumbersome. Kind of like to approach it this way. All right, get going, and hopefully that'll help get you started.